Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Look at who the man is, not what you want. Let me give y'all some game with that, right? Look at who the man is. I'm gonna tell a story, right? I remember when I was younger, met this fine sister. Fine, pretty face, naturally pretty face, brick house body, pow pow pow. One of the few women that can actually say I approached them. And, she was receptive, real cool, real calm thing. But we didn't, to start dealing with it, and I started noticing that she was into some serious games, right? And it got to the point, this is one of the few women I had to raise my voice at. One of the very few women I had to raise my voice at. And she explained to me, and she was honest why she was behaving the way she was. Because she had a vision of me, a certain vision of me. And she thought I should have, because this was when, because I had met her, this wasn't on my college campus, but graduate school campus. And, and she was an undergrad there at the time. And and she said she would see me sitting around, and I didn't behave. In her mind, I didn't behave according to the level of the particular degree I was getting. And I ain't gonna get into why I never really talk about that degree, but I have it. But I'll just say, well, no, I ain't gonna get into it. But so she thought, someone with my credentials should have behaved and carried himself a certain way. Yet I carried myself in a more calm way, more laid back. I ain't walking around with my nose up in the air. And that's actually what she said to me. She said, what you're doing and everything, you should be walking around with the nose in the air. And that's what she basically wanted. And she was, by her own terms, bougie. Right? And that's what she wanted. That was her thing, a bougie dude. And that wasn't, even though I can hang in that crowd, I can deal with that crowd, that wasn't really who I was. So she was trying to get me to behave a certain way, to the point it annoyed me, right? And it was actually a specific incident that annoyed me, but I ain't gonna get into that publicly here. But thing is, okay, we had that, and then didn't deal with each other for a few months, but then let's just say some circumstances, kind of started dealing with each other. And I would say this is a person, even to this day, she can like some of my pics and stuff on Facebook. Now, she married to another person, but, I was just like, oh, okay. It was cool. And I remember something she had said to me back then. Well, first of all, I said to her, I said, look, you're so busy trying to change me into what you want and what you think I should be, instead of taking time to find out what I am. So we did that. And then it was something, I never forget what she said. She said to me, you're a great guy. And she said, she used the word love. I really love the man that you are. Now, she didn't say in love and stuff, because to be honest, it was just a mostly lustful relationship. But it was cool. She said, you know what? Not only love, she used the word respect, because she saw what I actually had. That's what she wanted and what I did. And I said, look, yeah, that's why. Because if you just sat back and chilled, you could see who I really was. And it actually added something new to her perspective. It gave her something different. See, she had one vision of who I should have been, instead of seeing who I actually was. And it was actually better. And that's something she said too. It was better than what she thought she wanted. It was better. Right? Ladies. And like I said, me and her, we cool to this day. Every now and then, we might, chop it up a bit. I ask her about the husband and all of that. We cool. So, it was like, but the thing is, she got past what her stuff was. Like I say, she's very successful, happily married, everything. But one of the things, she was able to get past her own bullshit. She was able to get past her own bullshit. And that's why I say it's bullshit. Sometimes ladies, and this kind of related to my last podcast, right? You going in, you looking for a certain something. You're looking for it and you think you want it. Like one of the things I've said this to women. I've said this to women constantly. Like, you know how women got a list. Y'all know how y'all got a list. Y'all say, well, you know what? I need that dude to be 6'2". I need him to have this money. I need to have all of this, right? And you know what? I've asked several women, and I'll ask any woman on here. How many of y'all have actually met the man on your list? Seriously, man, feel free to share that in the comments. Feel free to share that in the comments. And if you share, no, feel free. And if somebody try to go at you or anything, I'll delete their comment. Because I just want to hear how many women have actually met the guy on their list and maybe passed over a guy because he wasn't on the list. Now, here's another thing. How many women have actually met a guy, he might not have reached that list that you had, but you find out he was actually better. He was greater for you. He showed you something new. You know? Because one of the things is sometimes in relationships, women do this, men do this. Sometimes you don't know what you really need or want until you actually meet them. See, the way I look at relationships, somebody need to bring me something new. I don't have a general list. Personally, I don't have a list. It's probably why I've dated so many women, dealt with so many. Because I don't have a list. The only thing I look for is, do we click? Because I say, I got a general physical criteria. I'm going to emphasize the word general physical criteria, because y'all know Rom like the butt dunk. Y'all know it. I like that butt dunk, right? But I've actually clicked with some women who didn't have that butt dunk. I've straight up clicked, and so I dealt with them. Because here's the thing, you don't know what they're going to bring to you. You don't know. So for y'all don't know what that guy's going to bring. He might add something to your life that you didn't even know you needed. He might be that guy. And it's not even a sex thing, but you might be that guy. You in a relationship with him for a year, but because of what he brought to the table, what he opened up, you got you on a whole different career path. This was the guy, you might be looking for that guy who's 6'2" and got all the lists, but then that guy might be the type of guy who's going to lock you down. Remember, I did a podcast about that last week. Or abuse you or something like that. Meanwhile, that 5'10" guy who might be a little pudgy, but he still work hard, that might be the guy. Be like, you say, well, you know what, I want to create this baking business or whatever business, and that'd be the guy. Okay, let's get started. That might be the guy who knows the people to get you in stores. Like use an example of a baking business. You bake cookies, and you deal with this guy. He might not only support you, but get out there and sell your cookies. He'll have the skills for you, So you got to just deal with that personality. You got to deal with it. And in addition, let's be real. Let's keep it raw. He might be the type who tell you up in the bedroom too. It's like you got to deal with. It's like get out of your mind that list and just deal with the reality. And to be clear, I hit the guys on that whole icon thing too, because that's what y'all looking at. Y'all looking for an icon, a certain mask or something. Deal with the guy who he is. Go with the flow. Now, if you see who he really is and you ain't feeling that click or something, you don't have to force it. In fact, by looking at the guy who he is, you can see what's up right away instead of what you want. Because sometimes here's something women do. You want all that other stuff that you gloss over or even ignore the bad stuff that could be painful. Check out that video I did, that story I did last week about the woman in that bad situation. You know, look at who the man is, not what you want. Look at who he really is. Don't put that mask on. Don't look at that list. See who he really is. When you do that, in many cases, you'll be pleasantly surprised, greatly surprised. This will be the guy who you will go to high levels with, even if you don't marry him. Just that relationship for a year with this guy can do wonders for you. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and many blessings.